Hello, hello, my illuminated soul. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get a message for our Cancerian collective. So what are the strongest energies right now around the zodiac sign of Cancer? What messages do they need to know? What do they need to see? Anything that could bring any type of clarity or insight into their situation. All right. Overall, we have the Hangman, right? So the Hangman sometimes is viewing things from a different perspective, or, seeing things from a different point of view. Sometimes it's waiting, though. Sometimes it's being in wait. And then we have the Nine of Wands under it. I like to go a little further into the deck. So the Nine of Wands is kind of like coming to an end of something, right? It's being at a point where there's no turning back, but, now it's time to progress and move forward. So with that energy being underlying with this Hanged Man right here, it's kind of like you've been in wait for a while. You've, been kind of viewing things from the sidelines. And this may be a signal that it's time for you to start taking action rather than, just viewing from a distance. Maybe it's time to actually get involved and start doing things, right? So this first card we have here is the Six of Wands, right? So a lot of times Six of Wands is viewed as, achievements, winning, gaining notoriety, things like this. So like I said, with the energy of maybe you needing to step in and start doing things, right? Maybe this will get you the recognition and, the things that you're desiring, the things that you're trying to manifest, right? Because you can't bring in that which you desire unless you put forth the effort and the energy to do so, right? Because what you sow, that's what you shall reap. And if you're not sowing the seeds, then when the harvest season comes, you don't have anything to reap, right? So it takes you, stepping away from the shadows and stepping into the spotlight, stepping into the winner's circle, and actually, taking the action necessary for you to achieve these goals, right? And then we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is like, another form of waiting, like, trying to figure out the future and what's coming in. So sometimes you can't always plot and plan everything out, because even if you do, things don't always work out the way that you had planned, right? So sometimes you have to just take that step forward. You have to put that action in without really knowing for sure the outcome. But, if you have a positive outlook, you have positive energy, and you're doing things for the right reason, things will always work out for your benefit. Even if you're not able to grasp or achieve or obtain that which you are seeking, you will still benefit and you will still learn and grow from that. And, you may have some delays, but you're still on your path. But you have to take that step moving forward, because if you don't, otherwise, you're going to continue to just stay in this position, to just stay waiting around, hanging around, just to keep watching and looking while everyone else is doing their thing and getting themselves out there and becoming known, and, their work, everything is coming together for them. But you don't want to be still sitting waiting around, right? Well, all this is coming together for everyone around you that's actually putting in the work, putting forth the effort, right? So now it's your time too to take action. And then we have this Six of Spears, right? So this Six of Spears is moving forward motion. A lot of times it's leaving things behind, right? So you could be leaving behind, those It could be feelings of inadequacy or something that's, you know, keeping you from stepping into this spotlight, from stepping into the forefront, right? It could be like, you know, fears of being in front of people, fears of, you know, being the face of something, you know, the wanting to be in the shadows and in the background, you know, not wanting to be seen. You know, you could be stepping forth from that, you know, those old wounds or whatever it is that's keeping you, you know, small and keeping you down and keeping you in this space. You know, it's time to move forward through all that to step into this energy, right? Because look at this. From this, moving forward to this, it looks a lot brighter, right? But you have to you have to get through that storm to see the rainbow and to see the brighter day, right? You can't just sit through that storm and just continue to sit there and sit there and sit there. You have to make your way through in order to get the progress and the results that you're looking for. So this is a good spread, you know, because it puts you in the driver's seat and it puts the power in your hands. You know, this is all up to you. Are you still going to sit around and wait and try to plan and decide and figure out and do this? Or are you going to actually take action and jump in and get these results and move forward? Right? So, all right, Cancer. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to reading for you again, and I'll see you soon.